Hallelujah. May of 2002, Principal Chief Chad Smith and the Cherokee National Choir traveled to New York City and Washington, D.C. to honor and commemorate those who perished in, survived, or were rescued after the tragedies of September 11, 2001. The next two songs were recorded live while on tour. The first song, America, was recorded live at the Smithsonian Institution National Museum of the American Indian in New York City. The second song, the National Anthem, was recorded live in Washington, D.C. at the Department of the Interior for Secretary Gail Norton and her staff. Acting as ambassadors for the Cherokee Nation, the children performed these songs of peace and comfort in the native language for many audiences, illustrating the Cherokee Nation's commitment to build one fire.
I have always believed that the great Creator had a great design for my people, the Cherokees. I have been taught that from my childhood up, and now in my mature manhood, I recognize it as a great truth. Our forces have been dissipated by the external forces. Perhaps it has been just a training, but we must now get together as a race and render our contribution to mankind. We are endowed with intelligence. We are industrious. We are loyal. And we are spiritual. But we are overlooking the particular Cherokee mission on earth. For no man nor race is endowed with these qualifications without a designed purpose. Redbird Smith, 1918. Today, the prosperity and the excellence that the Cherokee Nation and its people have earned time and time again in their long existence from antiquity to the present is the same challenge that our ancestors faced with incredible will to not just survive, but to flourish. This is the
Good evening. I would like to call this meeting to order. First on the agenda is the invocation, and it will be delivered tonight by Councilman Bill Baker.
Stand, please. Our gracious Heavenly Father, let us thank you for this day that we might come together and do your work for the Cherokee people. Let's remember our troops overseas and those all over our nation that are hurting and needing our help. Thank you that we can come together and do your work and be pleasing in your sight, that we can make each and every decision in light of how it helps your people and how we can benefit the Cherokee Nation with your guidance and through your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Councilman Baker. Roll call, please.
Bill Hanson.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Arthur Connor. Sarah Cowan.
Honey.
Joe Crittenden.
Here.
Meredith Brady. Here. Don Garland.
Here.
Charles Hopkins.
Here.
Bill Johnson.
Here.
John Keener.
Honey.
Linda O'Leary.
Here.
Jackie Rob Martin.
Aye.
Nabana Stockhouse. Billy Sharkey. David Thornton.
We have a quorum. Next, we have the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is the State of the Nation, delivered by the Chief, Chad Smith.
It's my pleasure to report the state of the Cherokee Nation. It's November 2004. We've had many significant events occur this last month, and I will share with you tonight. First, let us pay our respects to several losses by the staff suffering this last month. This month we mourn the loss of Norman Flute, Helen Pike, Julian Pike's mother, Joanne Ross, Joy Ross's wife, Paula Holder's dad, Jim Maxwell, and Jim Moon Littledave, leaving behind his wife Millie and children Melody and George Littledave. We also had the funeral of one of my great heroes, Conrad Holmes, Tuesday this last week. Now Conrad, you may remember, had an accelerated graduation from Sequoia his senior year. He beat cancer twice. Prognosis was very poor. So in the fall of last year, he had his graduation. It was attended by the students. It was a great learning experience. And what Conrad became was not the student, but the teacher. Well, Conrad outlived his prognosis, and his funeral was held this last week. And he was one of my heroes because he showed under tremendous trials and tribulation confidence and grace in facing adversity. He's the kind of young man, the kind of student that we want all Sequoia students to become like. He showed the determination, the courage, the fortitude, the strength of how we should behave under times of conflict and adversity. So at this moment, if you each will, let's share a moment of silence for all those that we've lost this month. Conrad Holmes ran cross country before he became ill. One of his last acts on this earth was to watch some of the boys cross country team win the state championship. The girls team finished second. Will those teams come forward? You'll come up this way. We have many of those students here tonight who will come up forward. Is here, and if there's a phenomenal success story at the Cherokee Nation at the Sequoia is the cross-country teams. Coach Nels, how many state championships do you have yet?
That's 8-1 combining two girls and boys.
In the last 2 years.
We had state championships 18 years in a row.
Let me repeat that. It's a state championship 18 years in a row. So let's hand out certificates of appreciation. And I'm going to read, if you'll point it out. For the boys team, Jeff. Can you want to come up? Okay, Jeff Elizondo, state champion and all-state runner. Ryan Giotto, state champion runner, all-state runner. Ryan Van, state champion team, all-state runner. Michael Holcomb, state champion team, all-state runner, regional champion. Chester Nopires, state champion team. Casper Holmes, state champion team. Chris Little, state champion team. Sarah Holcomb, state runner-up team. Okay, state champion. Regional champion. Rachel Shoto, state runner-up team, all-state runner. Elisa Riddle, state runner-up team. Jaleesa Proctor, state runner-up team. Amanda Mouse, state runner-up team. Okay, you'll have to help me, Miss Brown. Cartea Brown, state runner-up team. And Andrea Walkingstick, state runner-up team. So let's commend each of them and Coach Nels, of course, unfortunately, for outstanding say a word for us.
like to say that it's an honor to be up here with these kids and to represent the school and the tribe, doing a very good job, both academically and athletically. I'm very proud of them. They have a great heart. They work hard every day. Every day is a perfect day to run, except when it's lightning, so to say. But we're looking at repeating next year for the boys team and winning it for the girls team next year. Sarah and Michael Holcomb, they've both been ill, but together as a brother and sister, they won the regionals. That's the first time it's been done in our school history. Sarah was state champion. She's only the second state female champion that we've had. So we've come a long way. We're looking for brighter things next year and years to come. Thank you.
We've had a busy month. We've had a very successful Get the Vote Out effort. I'm happy to announce that our staff, citizens, council members, and volunteers did an outstanding job. Here's what we accomplished. We registered close to 10,000 new voters. We held our own candidate forums and partnered with other groups for candidate forums. We compiled the candidate information for 2 voter guides that went to all of our citizens inside the Cherokee Phoenix. We supplied breakfasts and lunches for early voters within several of our jurisdictional areas. We put signs out to get people out to vote, attended numerous community events and meetings to promote voting. And as a result, we had record turnout in this election. So I think we should applaud our people and their participation for an outstanding effort to participate in American political structure. So let's just give everybody. State Question 712 was of vital interest to us. It passed. It was a great success by nearly 60% of the vote. So we have much to look forward to with the advantages of a state compact. Those advantages will bring us some stability in the gaming market and ability to help the horse racing industry and education. I'm sure David Stewart will share his appreciation for the tribe's initiative to get that vote out and how it will help us in the next 15 years. Meredith and I, as lawyers, had a great experience this last week. We got to sit in the U.S. Supreme Court. And thankfully, we weren't the defendants. We were actually the plaintiffs. The Cherokee Nation had brought a lawsuit to try to compel the Indian Health Service to pay us contract support costs. But it's a lawyer's highest honor to sit in the U.S. Supreme Court. Meredith and I attended with some of our staff, and it was really a great experience because we sat from here to the camera, from the bench, and saw 8 of the 9 judges, and saw their personalities come out, and saw their friendliness or lack of friendliness to Indians actually show through. It was quite educational. And basically, the lawsuit was a very simple one, which the stakes were not that high. This one was all about money, whether we should be awarded contract support costs or not. Unfortunately, usually when tribes are in the U.S. Supreme Court, it's for more valuable things like jurisdiction or territory or sovereignty that's at stake. In this instance, if we win money. If we lose, we don't get it. That's somewhat of a luxury of Indian law. But we could actually watch the justices, and I don't know if you noticed, it seems like Clarence Thomas went to sleep on us. We had a couple that were hostile. Justice Scalia was openly hostile to begin with. But it was a historic moment, too, to be able to see a place that so much had been decided affecting tribes over the last couple of centuries. So we certainly enjoyed that. In a couple of months, they'll have a decision. Tonight, as an institution that Joe Grayson has brought to us, is to honor those in our military service. Those Cherokees that have served this country and the tribe so well in the defense of the United States. And tonight, we honor our longtime friend and former deputy chief and former councilman, John Ketcher, and his grandson, Daniel Brewer. Now, John was a seaman first class of the United States Navy. He joined the service in 1943, went to San Diego for basic training. In the spring of 43, he was assigned to the USS New Orleans, a heavy cruiser, and was dispatched to Pearl Harbor. Their job was to bombard Japanese-held islands, to silence the guns along the shoreline so the Marines could land and fight to take back the islands. John remembers that their greatest dangers were from the guns on the islands and the Japanese Air Force kamikaze suicide planes. John's ship was in the Manila Bay in the Philippines when the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. His ship was sent to Tsingtao, China, to accept the surrender of Japanese soldiers. John returned to San Francisco in 1946. After the loss of their spouses, John and Colleen Ketcher found each other at a Hastings Hospital Valentine's party. We'll have to ask him about that. We've heard that story at star-crossed covers in the old ballroom. Combining their existing families, they have a large family of 7 children, many grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Please show your gratitude for this World War II veteran, John Ketcher. We're going to ask John to come up momentarily, but we also would like to honor with him his grandson, Daniel Brewer. Daniel's in the active service. It's Lance Corporal Daniel Brewer. Daniel is serving with the Marines, and he could not be here with us tonight because he has just returned to his base camp at Camp Pendleton in California. Daniel has been in the service for 2 years and served in Iraq for 7 months. And John will accept on his grandson's behalf our small tokens of appreciation.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, members of the Cherokee Nation. And thank you, everybody. It's a great honor to be recognized by your own people. It has been a wonderful life for me. And part of it began when I, for the first time, left the state of Oklahoma to join the service. You all will recall that during World War II, there was a sign everywhere that you looked, "I want you." Join the Navy and see the world. He didn't go ahead and explain that so much of it was water. So I spent a major portion of my cruise on the cruiser, USS New Orleans, in the waters of the Pacific. I spent my entire career in the Navy in the Pacific area, fighting the Japanese who had cowardly attacked our base at Pearl Harbor. As most of the veterans will tell you, I think, especially me, I wouldn't take $1 million for all the good experience I had from that occasion. But I don't think I'd take $1 million to go back in. But it gives me a different outlook. That's why our young people, I think, they can get some good basics. If they go into service, they have a different attitude about life and what we have here in the United States. Besides being in the Navy, I have been honored by being your deputy chief and on your council, and so I have a pretty full life. My wife and I, Colleen, Daniel Brewer, as mentioned, is now serving his country. He's back in Pendleton right now for a little rest period and more training. We have another grandson who we just learned today by the name of Quentin Davis, who was the son of Robert Davis. Some of you may know him. He's in Iraq now. I have a son also we don't hear much about being in the service. And he's with me tonight, and I want to recognize myself. And maybe one day you might get one of these, huh? This is my son, John Fetcher, and his wife, Darlene, over here. Got it? Don't stand up. John is serving our people. He works at the Hastings Hospital. He has worked out in the southwest part of our nation, serving other Indian tribes before he returned to work among his people. So I certainly appreciate him coming back at my, what do you call it, the over hillside of my life, and bringing some couple of beautiful grandchildren nearby so I can see. Once again, thank you very much. I can't repay.
Times a year we have the occasion to share a special honor of the Cherokee Gadugi Award. It honors the recipient for the contribution to the Cherokee people, its nation, and its communities. Tonight, we don't know that he knows this, we would like to honor Marcus Gibby for his outstanding achievements as a teacher and devoted Cherokee Nation tribal citizen. Marcus is one of our volunteer history teachers. His gift of time, resources, and energy to our nation, our people, and our community exemplifies the Cherokee way of life and the Cherokee spirit. So at this time, Marcus, would you come down and accept this small token of our appreciation?
First of all, I want to thank these men and women who serve our nation and look out for our welfare. And it is an honor to come to know individuals such as John Ketcher, because we have many heroes scattered throughout the Cherokee Nation and other parts of this great world. History was never a real interest of mine, but Cherokee history has always beckoned me to study and to learn more about my heritage and my family. And thanks to Julia Coates, who encouraged me to step up to the plate, even though I told her I wasn't ready. But I've had some enjoyable times teaching Cherokee history. Currently teaching in Ramona, and we have 35 active class members. And we have a lot of fun because I make it fun, and they help me. Because I think our people need to know our history, because it will help us make good decisions in the future. And I just want to thank each of you, and certainly you, Chief Smith, for the leadership that you and the council members have provided. Thank you very much.
So I see Julia Coates here today, so she not only graduates students, she graduates teachers. Very good. On your way out tonight, be sure to check the Career Services Mobile Technology Lab's cooperative effort between Career Services and Information Services is posted in front of the complex. If you have a chance to step into it and check it out. Also, as events this week, invite the council, the boards, and our commissions, and our executive staff to a Cherokee Economic Summit, which will lay out and analyze the future economic efforts of the Cherokee Nation for the next 5 to 15 years. And also understand tomorrow evening at the Catoosa, the gaming facility, there's a artist reception to honor their contributions of the artwork at the Catoosa Hotel, which is just gorgeous. So thank you very much. This closes my State of the Nation.
Thank you, Chief Smith. Oh, before we go on, we have another distinguished guest with us, Miss Cherokee, Miss Ashley Sadone. Would you stand up, please? Thank you. The next item is the action of unfinished business. And since there's none pending, we will move on. Next, we have the committee reports. Are there any reports by the Tribal Council? There being no reports, we move on to the Housing Authority. Mr. David Sutherland.
Brief report this evening. We're going to have a Christmas dinner for the employees on the 17th of December. We'll be at the Telephone Community Building, and we'll send out formal invitations, but I take this opportunity to invite each of you, and as well as the Chief, over to that on the 17th. As will the tribe, our offices will be closed next Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving. Let's see, what else we got? We got Title VI programs winding down. We have closed 229 loans. Through Callie Ketcher of the tribe, we have asked for a 90-day extension from Bank One. The purpose is so we can process as many of the 450 applications that's been approved as we can. That gives us time to process as many as we can. We're also working with the services team here at the tribe to develop a policy to comply with the Self-Help Contribution Act. We're looking at a fair policy that is consistent between all the departments. As of today, we have 248 employees, 98% of which are Native American. That's my brief report for this evening. Hadn't done a whole lot of new things this past month, just carried on business as usual. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer.
Any questions? Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Next, we have Cherokee Nation Enterprises. Mr. David Stewart.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to say that I appreciate all this council support of State Question 712. It was a command performance by Oklahoma to support it, and it was a unique teaming between the Cherokee Nation, the other major tribes, educators, and the racing industry to get this bill passed, or the state question passed. It will provide us certainly benefits over the next 15 years. It is a 15-year compact. It will allow us to operate with certainty in the business world, which we have not been able to do in the past, without threat of fines and litigations from the NIGC and so on. So you'll see us grow over the next few years. We'll be hiring another round of people over the next 3 or 4 months, so look for us to do that. We ended up our fiscal year 20% up in our bottom line net income. Our gross revenues were up 40%. We continue to see positive results at all of the casinos. And I always want to talk about next month. I told you I wasn't going to do that, but our current month looks outstanding as well. So you'll see good financial results from our operations. You'll also see us do minor expansions at West Siloam. We will add some modulars there. We will start groundbreaking in 60 to 90 days here in Tahlequah with the permanent facility. And we will start in 60 to 90 days in Sallisaw. So you will see that starting. So we have a lot in the works. And if you get a chance, always commend our employees because they're just doing a fantastic job and keeping the net revenues up and providing a great entertainment facility for our customers. So that's my report. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Are there any questions? Ms. O'Leary.
Yes, David, I've had constituents inquire about the monies that was spent from CNE, that I visited with you earlier about that. On the 712, and also, I think the monies was like over $1 million. Can you explain what areas that was spent in?
Yes, the organization that was formed to promote passage of 712 was Oklahomans for Education and Jobs. And that coalition was formed with the 7-member team, of which I was one of the members. The Choctaws, Chickasaws were represented, and also the Horsemen's Association, Oklahoma Education Authority. David Duvall was our chairman of that, and John Smickless, who is involved in the Thoroughbred Association, was the co-chair. And that organization was formed to essentially get out the word about what 712 was all about. We felt strategically that to CNE and our operation it was critical that the state question pass. We've been involved in it for a little over, a person was involved in it for over a year when it went through the legislature and was passed by the legislature once, and then under threat of some constitutional question it was passed again. And the same coalition worked at that level and then continued under this organization. And the money spent by that organization, it was a collection of funds from all 3 tribes that were represented, including other tribes, smaller tribes that were not on the actual board but were in support of the bill. Some tribes chose not to support the bill. We were in support of it. And we felt like that those monies for advertising and actually getting the word out that this bill was going to help education and preserve jobs and at the same time give us some business certainty and protect our future here. We felt like it was money well spent and a good business decision. So that's where that money went. It went, we contributed approximately $500,000 to that organization. And then other monies were spent internally by us to do that under our own campaign. Those dollars went out in the form of billboards and advertising and television, and anything you saw related to 712, those monies, that's where those monies were spent. So does that answer?
And again, David, under whose authority was those monies spent?
Those monies were approved by our board of directors as a state question. It was not actually for a campaign or the election of an official, so it is outside the federal election laws. It's a state question, which corporations are permitted to do, and we considered it as any normal business expense would be to ensure that that passed.
Okay. Another question? Proceed. Do you not think that it would have been appropriate for those type of monies to be expended through CNE to have come before the council for approval? And why?
Well, our board felt like they had the authority to do that, and also, those are open meetings in which those funds are voted on. So it was definitely public information available to all the council members. So we felt like it was public knowledge at that point, which it was. And so it was a disclosure at that point.
Okay. It may have been a disclosure when you say public. Are you talking about when it's in the confines of your entity?
The board meeting, which is open to council.
But do you not feel that those monies are the people's money, Cherokee Nation people's money, Cherokee people of our 14 counties and outside districts?
I would say it's all Cherokee people's money.
It is the Cherokee people's money. And in being stewards of that money, us being the council, I think it would have been highly appropriate for those approvals to come before the council. And I just want to make that clear.
Okay.
And that's my position on that.
Okay, I understand that. It's a lot of money. And, of course, like I said, we felt like it was known to the council that those monies were being spent.
No. Known and coming before the council for approval, as both of us know, is entirely two different things.
Yeah.
And I would hope and interject to this council that in the future, any money that's appropriated like that, whether it's even before the board, it's still the people's money, needs to come before this council. We're the stewards of the money, and we need to know where that money's going and how it's going to be spent. And so I want to caution, being very cautiously, that we do, the stewards of the money, need those situations to come before us.
Okay.
To see where
I appreciate that, yeah.
I have constituents that's very unhappy about it. My phone's been ringing off the wall. And so if they're listening tonight by streaming video, maybe they will accept that explanation, but I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of questions out there.
I would be glad to answer any specifics if there are any further questions about it.
Mr. Chairman, at this time I'd like to ask that we amend the agenda to add items number 13 and 14. 13 would be a resolution authorizing a gaming compact with the state of Oklahoma, and 14 would be to make some changes to the Cherokee Nation tribal gaming act.
Was that put in the form of a motion?
It was.
Second motion.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor, aye? Aye. All those?
No.
Roll call vote.
Bill Anglin,
Yes.
Bill John Baker,
Yes.
Audrey Carter. Yes. Sarah Cowan,
Yes.
Joe Crittenden,
Yes.
Meredith Fraley,
Yes.
Ron Garvin,
Yes.
Chuck Hopkins,
Yes.
Bill Johnson,
Yes.
John Keener,
Yes.
Linda O'Leary,
No.
Jackie Bob Martin,
Yes.
Nabina Shophouse,
No.
David Thornton,
Yes.
Phyllis Jordan.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I have a question.
Well, it's too late now, ma'am. We're moving on.
Did you ask if there's any question?
No, but we already moved on to the amendment. of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Point of order.
I think we had some more to present, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We had one more to present. I'm sorry.
Point of order.
I would think that if Mr. had more questions for Mr. Stewart, that would be in order.
Well, Mr. Baker, you were out of order when you called for the amendment. It wasn't time for it.
Well, I had the floor, sir, and I can ask for it to amend the agenda anytime.
But we started with the agenda.
Moved
We were not
over.
through with the committee report.
Moved over.
And it is my mistake. And now we'll call for the Cherokee Nation Industries report, please.
Moved to overrule the chair.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Dusky, would you have a seat, please? This place, right there. All those in favor, aye, to override, sir?
Just for point of clarification, the motion is to appeal the decision of the chair. If you vote yes, you'll be voting to uphold the chair's decision, which would be cut off the questions to Mr. Stewart. If you vote no, you are voting against the chair, and that would allow, if a majority vote to overrule the chair, then more questions would be allowed to Mr. Stewart. Just want to clarify that.
Is that understood?
No.
You vote yes, you vote aye, you're the first one to vote. I want to make sure.
If you vote yes, you are voting in favor of the chair's decision, which was to cut off questions to Mr. Stewart. If you vote no, you are voting against the chair and would allow more questions to Mr. Stewart.
Point of information, please. I just want to clarify this. For Councilor Shophouse, when you requested additional questions, I took that, and I'm wondering if the chair took that, as being additional questions on the amendment, motion to amend the agenda. And at that point, we had closed business, or that question had been called. So is it more additional questions for David Stewart, or is it additional questions on amending the agenda and item 13?
No, but motion for questions for David Stewart. More questions. I didn't know he was going to close it, he didn't call, to close it, any more questions. That's it. Thank you.
Is there debate on this?
Yes.
Yes, it is debatable and requires a majority vote for the negative to overrule the chair.
Right. Okay. I just, I think we would be amiss if we did not allow each and every counselor to have full and complete questions and time with all of these people. Their committee reports. Sometimes it's the only time these council people get an opportunity to ask their questions. It's the only time that they can make their statements, ask their questions for the Cherokee people. And I truly believe that it's each and every one of our job and duty to do that. And for a council person to be cut off from the base, it's wrong.
I also agree with Mr. Baker's comments, and I think it's a very the council. Each one of us council members needs an opportunity. Maybe if we didn't get our hand up right that second, or if maybe the chair didn't see somebody, that's not a reason to go on and exclude that council member from pertinent questions asked of an entity or division or a business board member or any of that nature. And I think it's done an injustice to not only us as council people representing our respective clientele or constituents, but also disrespect for the Cherokee people, for them not to have allowed their counselor to interject in questions or comments. And that's all I have to say.
In listening to the debate, are there any more questions?
Thank you, Mr. President.
following the agenda as we should be doing. Mr. Stewart was sitting there and he asked if there was any follow-up questions or any questions of him. And nobody moved to ask any more questions, so he removed himself from the seat, went back. We moved on with another item on the agenda, and I don't feel like that anybody was shortchanged on having their questions asked. That's all I have to say.
Well, I was trying to get his attention, but his attention to Mr. Baker, and I feel like even though, you know, I wouldn't recognize I'll be speaking out of terms if I just answered Mr. Stewart's question. I had to recognize by the chair. Is that right?
That's correct. Well, I will rescind my motion, and we will allow you to speak.
Thank you. Mine was more of a comment or kind of a, so that the attention today. I had a man a man's daughter come to the office, and she has a father that has cancer, and he was turned down for a PAT scan for cancer because of the lack of money funds in our contract health. And she brought up the deal about spending all this money in the paper about the campaign. And I couldn't really answer her because I felt sorry for her. She was crying. But I do think that with all this passage and what we're working on right now, we do need to consider the services for our people above and beyond. And so I told her, I said, well, I'll pass that message on to the other people, my colleagues, and I said, I do agree with you. I said, I don't have an answer for you, but I guess, that the business, but I do believe that we need to look at the services of people. Whatever's coming up, let's do better. Thank you.
Any more questions? Mr. Thornton.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Stewart.
Yes, sir.
What percentage CNE's funding goes into the Cherokee Nation?
Well, we would consider it 100% because it's owned by the Cherokee people. We make certain reinvestment policy to try to generate more funds, and sometimes we will invest to generate $1 today to make $3 or $4 in the future. So the way we look at it is we're trying to maximize the net worth to the Cherokee people over time. So that's the way I personally view it, and that's the way I...
Don't the Cherokee Nation pull out 25% of the...
25% of the net income.
Net income?
Right, goes every month to the nation.
Goes every month to the nation.
Right.
That funding there goes into our program? And our funding for people?
The way I understand it is that is available funds, the general fund, for available uses at your discretion. So we are trying. We over the past 2 or 3 years, we tried diligently to increase those dividends, and we have. I think they've gone from $2 or $3 million a year to approximately $12 million a year.
I can remember when it was zero. As a matter of fact, we was $250,000 in debt. Right now, I think it's several $1 million that goes into our nation.
Mr. President. Mr. Hoffman. I think there's a point of order in that Mr. Baker has a motion on the floor, and he has a second, and he did not rescind that motion.
I would rescind it.
Okay. That being said, Mr. President, I'd like to compliment you on withdrawing your request for no more questions. I'd like to remind all the council members sitting here that when one of us have a question, it's not one person asking the question. It's all of the people that we represent. And whether only one district votes for us or not, in reality, we represent every Cherokee person. And we certainly don't want to deny those people an opportunity to hear a question, hear a response to the question. And unless there's some kind of overwhelming reason I would like for every council member to be afforded the time and the questions they want to ask. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Martin. Thank you, Mr. President. This has been quite debatable, I guess, talking about the monies that was spent for the last campaign. I would like to ask our council, Mr. Hembry, to give us an opinion, give a council opinion, not tonight necessarily, Mr. Hembry, but give you time to think about this and draw something up of your opinion of what authority C&E has as a corporation to put up that kind of money. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, and I will afford a written opinion to all council members by today's Monday, by Wednesday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other questions? Ms. Powell.
Thank you. Since there's a lot of things that have been thrown out in this forum which normally haven't been discussed because we don't go into lengthy debate, I just want to caution the people that are in attendance that there is lengthy debate that goes on in committee meetings, that we often get to this forum and much of this has been debated and much of the conclusions have already been created and consensus built or compromised. And so folks coming in on the council already know pretty much how they're going to debate. So if you are interested in this kind of details, we do go into this detail, but it's in another forum in one of the 8 standing committees which all legislation should go through before coming to full council. So I hope that no one's left in the room thinking that we don't have this kind of discussion about all of the legislation and decisions that the tribe needs to make and the people that we represent. Because right now, that's the impression I've been given by some of the discussion, and I hope that you don't think that. So please, you're welcome at any of our committee meetings, and those are posted outside here as well with those agendas to see where legislation comes from and how it's created. Right. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Are there any questions pertaining to Mr. Stewart? Thank you, David. Sorry, Mr. Ducey. Cherokee Nation Industries, Jim Maguski.
Good evening, Principal Chiefs, Deputy Chief Grace, and members of the Council. Cherokee Nation Industries sales for the month of October were slightly greater than $8 million. C&E sales for the first 4 months of our fiscal year are about $30 million, or about a 10% increase over the same period from last year. Profitability for the month of October was about 3% of sales, which is about 300% greater than it was last year at the same period. Cherokee Nation Industries continues to be strong. That, combined with several new products which we will be start manufacturing and distributing by year-end, should allow for the continued growth and the meeting our budget into this fiscal year. C&I will have a Thanksgiving dinner on Friday, November 19th at 11:30 a.m. And our next board meeting will be at 8 a.m. on November 18th before the Economic Development meeting. This concludes my report for Cherokee Nation Industries.
Any questions? Thank you, Jim. Excuse me, Jim. Ms. Connor.
Yes.
Yes, you're welcome.
I just kind of want to keep the rhythm going.
Okay.
No, this is not a question. It's actually just a comment. I've visited with some folks that are affiliated with CNI, and they're just have nothing but praise for Mr. Majewski, and I just would like for him to know that we hear that out in the community. He started out right, come in and started doing good things for the employees, and it's just built from there, and I've just heard really wonderful things, and I think we should be proud that we have him with us. So thank you.
I appreciate that.
That concludes our report. Now we move on to new business. First item is an act amending the Legislative Act 3704, authorizing the comprehensive budget for fiscal year 2005. Mr. Baker.
Okay, this is Legislative Act 3704, and it's authorizing comprehensive budget for fiscal year 05 Mod 2. The purpose of this amendment is to authorize and approve the use of funds subject to availability of such funds in accordance with Section 4, changing the amounts of certain cost centers approved in the Comprehensive Budget Act of fiscal year 05. Subsequent amendment. The cumulative total for the budget is increased by $9,079,891 for a total authority of $294,905,632. With that, I'll put it in the form of a motion.
Second. Motion's made, seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Bill Ingram.
Yes.
Bill John Baker.
Yes.
Arthur Carter. Yes. Sarah Cowell.
Yes.
Joe Crittenden.
Yes.
Meredith Brady. Yes. John Garland.
Yes.
Jack Hopkins.
Yes.
Bill Johnson.
Yes.
John Keener.
Yes.
Linda O'Leary.
Yes.
Jackie Bob Martin.
Yes.
Marvada Shophouse.
Yes.
David Thornton.
Yes.
Kelly Sharkey.
Yes.
Vote was unanimous. The act passed. Next, we have a resolution authorizing the submission of a Women, Infant, and Children's Infrastructure Grant. Mr. Crittenden.
Thank you, President. This resolution would provide for women, infants, and children. This program provides supplemental food, nutrition, and health education, and referral for ongoing health and social services to low-income women, infants, and children found to get nutrition risk. It's not to exceed $100,000. There's no matching funds. And I will put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Vote, sir. Next, we have a resolution for real property purchase for the Cherokee Nation. Mr. Martin.
Thank you. This is a purchase of 55 acres adjacent to present property, and I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Item number 4 is a resolution authorizing the approval of an amendment with Alltel at the Park Hill water tank. Mr. Martin.
Mr. Chairman, this is a resolution, is a request for an approval of an amendment to be added to the current hotel revocable permit G08-2034. This is for the education facility located at the Sequoia High School campus, also known as Park Hill Water Tank. I move for approval.
Motion is made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Number 5 is a resolution amending Resolution 5504, business lease for Cooks and Hills Community Action Foundation. Mr. Martin.
Thank you. The lease period is to be changed from 25 years to 25 years, and everything else remains the same. I move for approval.
Motion is made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Next is the legislative act amending Title 63 of the Cherokee Nation Code. Ms. Fraley.
This act amends the Cherokee Nation Environmental Quality Code by adding a comprehensive air quality code, providing through rules and regulations promulgated by the Environmental Protection Commission, the means to achieve and maintain clean air within the Cherokee Nation. I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Bill Ingram.
Yes.
Bill John Baker.
Yes.
Arthur Carter.
Yes.
Sarah Cowell.
Yes.
Joe Crittenden.
Yes.
Meredith Brady?
Yes.
John Garvin?
Yes.
Charles Hopkins?
Yes.
Bill Johnson?
Yes.
John Keenan?
Yes.
Linda O'Leary?
Yes.
Jackie Bob Martin?
Yes.
Nevada Shop House?
Yes.
David Thornton?
Yes.
Phyllis Sharkey?
Yes.
Motion was unanimous. Passed. Okay. Number 7 is another legislative act providing for a uniform certificate of title. Ms. Fraley.
This act provides uniformity in dealing with vehicle certificates of title by providing proof of ownership and certificates of origin, by providing proof of vehicle identity by the manufacturer, not only within the Cherokee Nation jurisdiction, but within other jurisdictions as well. It's particularly needed for those Cherokee individuals who have had to declare bankruptcy for one reason or another. And Ms. Holder is here if you have any questions, but otherwise I would move for approval.
Motion is made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Bill Anderson?
Yes.
Bill Baker?
Yes.
Audrey Connor?
Yes.
Carol Cowan?
Yes.
Joe Crittenden?
Yes.
Meredith Brady?
Yes.
John Garvin?
Yes.
Charles Hopkins?
Yes.
Bill Johnson?
Yes.
John Keenan?
Yes.
Linda O'Leary?
Yes.
Jackie Bob Martin?
Yes.
Nevada Shop House?
Yes.
David Thornton?
Yes.
Phyllis Sharkey?
Yes.
The vote was unanimous. The act passed. Number 8 is a resolution confirming the nomination of Jack Baker as a board member of the Cherokee Nation Education Corporation. Ms. Fraley.
Mr. President, the following resolutions, numbers 8 through 12, cover the same nomination to individuals as board members of to the Cherokee Nation Education Corporation. Unless tribal council or you object, I'd like to present these in total if possible. And I know some of the individuals are here if we have questions. Do I have permission to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
They are to the Cherokee Nation Education Corporation are Jack Baker, Dr. Shelley Butler Allen, Benny Smith, Mary O'Brien, and Marilyn Watt. And I saw Mr. Baker and Ms. Butler Allen here. Are there any other individuals here? If you have no questions, Council, I would move for approval of these individuals to the Cherokee
Could you stand, please? The motion was made and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, item number 13, the resolution authorizing a gaming compact for the state of Oklahoma. Who was presenting that?
The purpose of this is to give the principal chief authorization to execute a state tribal gaming compact on behalf of the Cherokee Nation and to submit the compact as required by federal law for approval. Spent some money on passing 712. Now this is what actually executes it. And with that, I put it in the form of a motion.
Motion made, seconded. Are any questions or discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no.
No.
Roll call vote, please.
Bill Anderson?
Yes.
Bill John Baker?
Yes.
Audrey Connor?
Yes.
Carol Cowan?
Yes.
Joe Crittenden?
Yes.
Meredith Brady?
Yes.
John Garvin?
Yes.
Chuck Hopkins?
Yes.
Bill Johnson?
Yes.
John Keenan?
No.
Linda O'Leary? Jack Bob Martin?
Yes.
Nevada Shop House? David Thornton?
Yes.
Phyllis Sharkey?
No.
The motion passed. the Legislative Act enacted amending Legislative Act 3089, the Cherokee Nation Tribal Gaming Act, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, there's just a few technical changes to make. It's actually our old Gaming Act had wording in it for Class 3 gaming. And even though we're not doing Class 3 gaming, the wording needs to be put back in the Act because when it goes to Washington to be approved, anything that's not Class 2, there's not such thing as a 2.5, so you have to have Class 3 in there in the wording. And there's just a few places that it is changed. It's underlined under Section 22, under classes and fees. It simply changes. There shall be, it used to say 2 different classes of gaming, now it says 3. Again, in number 26, well, it must add number 25, which is Class 2 gaming license. Then in 26, it adds, where it says Class 2, it adds the words for Class 3. On the next page, it adds says in Section 31 shall be amended by including the words and Class 3 following the words Class 2 as appears in that section. And I believe that those are the changes in total of the Act, and with that I would move for approval.
Motion's made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Bill Angel?
Yes.
Bill John Baker?
Yes.
Audra Connor? Yes. Terry Cowan? Yes. Joe Crittenden?
Yes.
Mary Fraser?
Yes.
Don Garvin?
Yes.
Chuck Hopkins?
Yes.
Bill Johnson?
Yes.
John Keener?
No.
Ray O'Leary? Jack Bob Martin?
Yes.
Nobody Shophouse? No. David Thornton?
Yes.
Phyllis Sharp?
The Act passed, 11 yeas and 4 nays. Now for the announcements. The next council meeting will be December the 13th. Are there any other announcements?
Chair.
Mr.
Yes, this morning at 2:52, I had my 8th grandchild. She was 19 inches long. Her name is Jillian Renee Jarvis, and she weighed 6 pounds, 10.7 ounces.
I just want to invite everybody Thursday night to the Jay's Diabetic Dinner. If you've never been there, you'll experience some wonderful food cooked mostly with walleye. They'll have deer stew, wishy stew, I guess. I mean, they just use walleye, and it's kind of a way you can use walleye for your diabetic dinner. So it's Thursday at 6 o'clock at the Jay Community Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Their next Rogers County Cherokee Association meeting is Tuesday, December 14th at 7 p.m. and it will probably be at the Fair Board Building. Thank you.
Just to remind the council, we have a special rules meeting to discuss election law reform tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and also to consider the election commission resumes that were presented to us. And I'd like to recognize a lady from Mays County. She's the mother of Miss Cherokee, Sandra Downing. Sandra, would you stand, please? Sandra is a school teacher in the Locust Grove school system, and she's very active in Cherokee politics in Mays County.
Yes, I would just like to take this opportunity to invite everyone to the Cherokee Community Hall of the Day Fellowship Dinner. It will be held Saturday, December 4th. They usually try to have it there before Thanksgiving or right around, but not able to get it scheduled this time, the room and everything. So it's December 4th, and everyone's welcome. And I may even try to cook something for us. Thanks.
I want to invite everybody down to Sequoia County next Saturday evening. Buying Oklahoma's going to play Oklahoma Union State playoffs. Everybody come down and support. Local team.
I'd like to invite everybody on December 3rd, it's a Saturday night, right before the Tahlequah Christmas Parade at 5 o'clock. Our youth choir will be hosting caroling at the courthouse. We'll have hot chocolate and cider, and it'll be a great event right before the parade. So 5 o'clock before the parade, December 3rd, Saturday night.
Just one more for all you outdoorsmen. Don't forget, this Saturday, opening day of rifle season. You get one down, bring it out for text processing, taxidermy.
Who's Georgie?
I'd just like to recognize we have 4 members of our Carpet Youth Council, and we normally don't act like this.
Any more announcements?
Vote by God.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, no?